Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me here again, your host Moritz from MV Rugby. And this week we have quite a bit of a lineup from last week's games. The well, from the absolutely brilliant to the fairly undesirable. It was quite an eventful weekend that we had, and one that I don't think we'll forget, and I'm pretty sure the Lions and the Sharks definitely will not forget it. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the Lions versus Edinburgh game. Pretty much of the same, really. Lions relying too much on their forwards for attack movements, especially against the Scottish teams like Edinburgh and the Glasgow Warriors. You cannot go far with simply relying on pick and drives, rolling mauls, that kind of thing. Their defenses are pretty solid. Whereas Edinburgh's side was more on the tactical gameplay, letting the ball go to the back line and then just basically running circles around the Lions' defenses, picking those holes in their lines through constantly switching direction of the ball, quick hands, and then tactical passing as well, sucking the defender in before you actually offload, chicken wing or over the top offload to your support. And that's another thing that really has stood out against the Lions, is that the support in the attack movements was never really sufficient. Whereas if you take a team like Glasgow Warriors or the Edinburgh side, they honestly had their support for the attack movements nailed down, for lack of a better word. The hammer really came down though when Kewan Horn was given a yellow card for not releasing the player after the tackle was completed. That was obviously the answer to a series of conceded penalties by the Lions, and didn't help them that well. Edinburgh used full advantage of the one-man deficit and then kind of switched tactic, going for the pick and drives and rolling mauls themselves, and doing it quite well. I think they scored 2 tries simply on those forwards tactics alone. I will also say that the tackle made by Kewan Horn, if he had successfully just released the player after the tackle was completed, it would have saved the Lions a lot of hassle, because the Edinburgh side was on the Scots was on their try line. So it was a desperate tackle, which they sorely needed. But unfortunately, if he just had state of mind to let go after the tackle was completed, that would have helped a lot. However, a bit of a respite came for the Lions side when Grant Gilchrist was given a yellow card as well, sent to the sin bin for tackling a player off the ball. And that kind of helped them, in their desperate attempt to kind of claw back onto the scoreboard. They did manage to kind of, reduce the the margin a bit there, but not by much. I mean, I think it's a 24-12 victory eventually to the Scots. But you cannot rely on, say, 3 tactical, versatile players like Kewan Horn, Edward van der Merwe, and Mona van der Berg to kind of patch all the holes in the defensive line, especially at a team that is going to switch direction the whole time. I mean, these 3 players were running themselves mad up and down the field. And of course, really sad for Jaco Versaghi when in the 72nd minute, I think it was, his try was overturned due to a held up. So yeah, it just proves again that Edinburgh's side was very multifaceted. Great tactical play as well, but yeah, also fantastic execution for the driving mauls, and pick and goes, pick and drives for them as well. So all in all, I think Lions really going to need to look at their tactics a bit. Maybe spend some time going through that on the practice field. And of course, coaching staff is going to have to look at these kind of the quality of performance of the Lions. Really, it's been taking a bit of a dip since last year, and I don't know if it is purely player base that's kind of, how can I put it, not really done them any kind of favors. But they're really going to need to look out for that. Please, in the comments field, just let me know below what you think of the Lions' performance. Was it adequate? Was it below standard? What do you think of that TMO decision of Jaco Visage's held up try? Also, about the Kieran Horn's yellow card. Do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? Do you think the ref didn't give him ample enough time to kind of get away from the tackle? Which is also a kind of thing, when a player tackles, an attacking player, and his support basically binds into a ruck around you at the drop of a hat or too quickly. It's not really giving you a lot of time to just, make your exits out of there. And a lot of players have been caught off guard with that. But unfortunately, such is the game, and unless World Rugby kind of pay attention to that, I don't think that's really going to change. But let me know your thoughts in the comments field. Right, so this now brings us to the Bulls versus Beyond, and a much better performance than we've seen among the rest of the South African clubs. Bulls really did, and I'm not saying that the other South African clubs are not giving their best performances. They obviously try to give their best performances whenever they run out to the field. Unfortunately, this season it just didn't match up to the kind of standards of their opponents. Unfortunately, and it's kind of weird to see the South African Springboks performing so well in overseas international games, and then you get to the club side and it's just say the Sharks and the Bulls that really kind of nailed the performances down. Although I do have to admit the Springboks is mostly predominantly made up from the Sharks and the Bulls, with a pinch of Stormers and Lions in between. But unfortunately, that is the way it goes. Your wealthier clubs are going to wrap up some of the better players. As you can see, most of quality performers in the Stormers are basically being wrapped up by the Bulls and the Sharks. But coming back to the Bulls vs Beyond match, it was kind of a bit of a feel-up between the two in the first, say, 10 to 15 minutes, until, Sergio Peterson just opened the floodgates. And I will show you the clip a bit later. I think that is, I've chosen that one as my try of the week. Brilliant ball handling. Fantastic, fast, tactical plays. And they didn't, they didn't wait on themselves. It was just absolutely fantastic performances. And then obviously with the penalty goals, it kind of did help a bit. The David Creel controversy, it wasn't really a controversy. It was just basically TMO trying to look at whether David Creel was in front of Stravino Jacobs as he, started the attack movement. I think he tried to go for a bit of a ground kick. The ball was deflected back at him by a Beyond player, and then he, hit his feet, went forward. He tried to kind of retrieve the ball, came very close, and then David Creel came in from the side, picked it up, and I think the referee was a bit just, concerned that David Creel might have been at, in front of Stravino at the beginning of the attack movement, but as it was basically ruled by the TMO that no, unfortunately, David Creel was very clear behind Stravino. So the try stood as it should, and it was just absolutely fantastic. However, Akker van der Merwe was issued a yellow card within the 64th minute of the game for a particularly dangerous high tackle. He came from behind as the player kind of slowed down to retrieve the ball, I think it from a cross kick. Akker basically full ball just absolutely steamrolled the guy. I mean, he went down like a rock. It was like he being hit by a freight train, I think. I should imagine. And it was, yeah. So I really can't fault the TMO's decision on that. But yeah, it in the heat of the moment, I don't think Akker basically figured on going low at that point. But he really needs to watch out, because that is what gets you a yellow card or a red card even. I mean, we saw in the World Cup finals that Sam Cane was issued a red card for not dipping into the tackle. Upright tackle, not wrapping the arms, but again, arms contact with the neck or the head can give you a red card. And I would hasten to say that Akker's tackle looked a lot more dangerous than Sam Cane's tackle within that final. So I would consider that an extreme lucky call for Akker's side. Not being issued the red card there, because it did. I mean, the player looked really, as he was just hit by a freight train. That's the only way I can explain it. I mean, Akker is quite a man. But that also, kind of build the tensions towards the closing minutes of the game. And then the real move with Anton Gooisen's kind of penalty goal conversion right at the end, at the 80-minute game. I mean, it was like edge of your seat stuff. It really looked like that ball was going to miss. It honestly did. He just managed by the... I don't want to really sound cruel, but it was literally by inches. Or I didn't want to sound crude, so I'm not really going to, repeat what I was going to say. But it was inches, literal inches. It's like the ball. I think the ball actually did make contact with the upright bar, and then kind of deflected to inside, and it was really kind of lucky, because it's like an inch, to the left, and it would have hit the bar straight on. It would have, sort of bounced back, but it did secure the 32-22 victory to the Bulls. And that was just, the key performances in the game was just absolutely fantastic by the Bulls players. I think Jake White can be really proud of the boys. They gave it their all, and they gave an absolutely stunning performance in this sort of final. I think it's the kind of playoffs game, or it's the starting of the playoffs. I think a lot of teams are given a bit more of a chance here to try and make the URC playoffs within the Veste Cup. And yeah, I think it's kind of make or break at this point. I'm not too sure if the Stormers are going to continue. There have been talks that the Stormers still stand a very slight chance of retaining a kind of position within the playoffs. To make it for the top 8 for the URC playoffs, to put it that way. But yeah, thank you, guys, and also give me your comments within the comments field below on the Bulls' performance. Where do you think Beyond could have done better? Because they did really, make quite a few strong attack moves that did pay off. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to reduce it up to about a 7-point victory. If they could just score one more try, or just one penalty goal conversion, it would have been within 7 points. They would have had their bonus point, but unfortunately not to be. And congratulations to Beyond. They really gave it their all. But the Bulls, congratulations to you. The day was yours. Leave me your comments in the comments field and your thoughts of that game. And finally, I'm going to do something different now. I usually put up an analysis of mostly South African teams and their games because I'm more familiar with the teams and everything. But I absolutely witnessed this fantastic clash this weekend between Ulster and Bordeaux. Fantastic matchup. It was just like literally epic proportions. Wonderful rugby entertainment by these two teams. I mean, really gave it their all, and fantastic performances by both of them. Unfortunately, Ulster couldn't quite do enough to secure a victory or anything against Bordeaux, and also not within the 7-point margin, unfortunately for them. Bordeaux was just absolutely in top form, really. The first half was a bit of a seesaw matchup of the starting blocks within the first 5 minutes of sizing each other up. Pinot made it through with an absolutely fantastic tactical gameplay and to score his try. And that was shortly followed up by Carberry's, bulldozing try. I mean, really strong driving try that that brought the first points for Ulster on the board. But again, Bordeaux's masterclass in versatility really did them a world of wonders. I mean, the combination of speed, power, and versatility, and dexterity from their players kind of sealed the victory for them, I believe, in that one. They actually managed to get the fourth bonus point try within the first half, just nearly making it within the closing moments of the first half. So that was kind of a bit of a dagger in the back of Ulster. But Ulster's resilience and their in resistance from Stockdale and his boys was absolutely fantastic as well. The double pick and drives, securing I think it was two or three tries for them in the first half. And then basically they had a remarkable transformation within, I think it was only 2 tries, but they had a fantastic transformation within the second half. A fantastic try by Timoney, nearly kind of, ruled, as he was into touch, but the TMO, through careful consideration and reviewing of the footage, just, concluded that yes, no, the ball was grounded before his arm actually went into touch. So a fantastic effort there by Timoney and the guys. And then also 2 more fantastic tries after that that nearly flipped the script for in Ulster's advantage in the second half. But Bordeaux managed to kind of just compose themselves and clutch the moments with a further 2 tries for this absolutely, I think these 2 teams really had a lot of respect for one another after this match was over, because it literally took everything out of them. They threw almost everything at each other, including the kitchen sink. Pinot was visibly spent by the end of this when that final whistle blew. Fortunately for them, the last 2 tries by Lamove and Janssen van Rensburg that kind of clutched the game for them and put them very well out of the reach of Ulster, even though they clawed back very hard and made an absolutely brilliant effort to try and reach for that Bordeaux 43 point victory. But yeah, 43-31 to Bordeaux. Well done there. A fantastic gameplay that absolutely deserves our congratulations to the Frenchmen there. All out fantastic rugby performances. And I think we really can learn, from these guys. I wish just, some of the South African teams would also sit down, watch these games, take away, take in, learn and absorb the kind of tactics and the tactical plays that these guys do, the technicalities that they play with, the versatility, the dexterity that they throw in there, as well as raw power, brute force, that we all come to know and love. There was no yellow cards issued in that game. The discipline was there. The performance was there. It was just, absolutely fantastic, and I can't sing this game's praises enough. I mean, it was just, I wish I could, kind of, but maybe I would, maybe I would just include a second kind of try of the week for you guys here, because I think that the Pinot try was just also just a fantastic masterpiece of French flair, really. But yeah, let me know your comments in the comments field as per usual on this game as well. What did you think of Stockdale's performance, the performance of Stockdale and the boys? Do you think they could have done more? Do you think they just were they just outplayed by the French on this day? Sometimes you do have, unfortunately, off days when one can never predict how a match is going to go. And are you going to live up to your opponent's standards and performance? But yeah, let me know in the comments field what you guys think. Well, that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. And if you do like the content in this channel, please consider liking and subscribing to it, as it really does help the algorithm for my channel as well. And before I go, I just want to address something that's really kind of popped on into the newsreels this week. The consideration for the complaints, especially from certain individuals from certain countries, I'm not going to name names, that complained about the bomb squad makeup for the Springboks, and I'm talking specifically on the introduction of the 7-1 split. That they cited, things like injury to players. I mean, if you go to, like, say 30 minutes into the second half, 20 to 30 minutes into the second half, and all of a sudden this totally fresh pack of forwards come making the fields there. Not only is it they claim dangerous for the players that's already quite tired and spent a bit, but it's also not fair. And the assignment for the health and safety of the other players was quite a big thing for the whole argument. But yeah, World Rugby has investigated. They consulted a whole bunch of medical science officials and experts, especially in the field of sports science, and they've concluded that it is rubbish. There is no real major health risk or risk for injury by the opposing players. Look, these players do get conditioned quite a lot to take the pounding, take the hits, and to now come and try and cite undue injury or try and cite unnecessary roughness as an excuse to ban the 7-1 split or even 6-2 split for the bomb squad, or ban the bomb squad in its entirety, holds no water. The medical experts and scientists that was consulted by World Rugby has all but refuted the whole claim or the fears by those individuals pertaining to the bomb squad or the 7-1 split in particular. France has now really kind of caught on to the whole kind of tactic and used it to quite a bit of success within the Six Nations, I must admit. So they, just kind of adding to the whole kind of gripe that some individuals has for it. But yeah, luckily for us, World Rugby has ruled against it, saying that it is a perfectly viable and legal tactic, and holds no significant health or safety risk for the players involved or the players facing the bomb squad, really. So on that positive note, I'm signing off, guys, and yeah, Please join me again next weekend, as we will be looking at for some really exciting matches coming on this weekend. I haven't looked at the lineup yet, so I'm kind of also, it's been a bit of a wild week, to be honest. But thank you for joining me, and as always, kind of take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and join me again next week for some more reviews. Peace out.